The First Kashmir War, also known as the Indo-Pakistani War of 1947-1948, was a crucial battle that influenced South Asian history and laid the groundwork for decades of hostility and fighting between India and Pakistan over the Kashmir territory. This is the full story. Context. Following the partition of British India in 1947, two sovereign nations, India and Pakistan, were split apart based on religion. With a predominantly Muslim populace and a Hindu ruler, Maharaja Hari Singh, the princely state of Jammu and Kashmir became a source of conflict between the two newly established nations. Accession to India. In October 1947, Maharaja Hari Singh asked India for military support in response to an attack by Pakistani tribal groups. He acceded to India in return for support, which resulted in the deployment of Indian soldiers to protect the state from Pakistani forces. Military operations. As Indian and Pakistani forces engaged in combat in Kashmir, the situation swiftly turned into a full-fledged war. Battles were fought fiercely by both sides for possession of important strategic sites, including as the city of Jammu, Poonch, and Srinagar. International diplomacy. The United Nations intervened to mediate a truce between India and Pakistan as a result of the conflict garnering attention from around the world. Resolution 47 was approved by the UN Security Council and called for a truce, the evacuation of Pakistani soldiers from Kashmir, and a referendum to decide the destiny of the area. Ceasefire and resolution. A ceasefire imposed by the UN brought the war to a conclusion in December 1948. The line of control, which served as a truce, nevertheless, essentially split Kashmir into areas governed by Pakistan and India, paving the way for decades of hostilities and territorial disputes between the two nations. Legacy. The 1947 to 1948 Indo-Pakistani War left a sour and distrusting legacy between Pakistan and India. The continued insurgency and violence in the area, as well as later conflicts and wars over Kashmir, such as the Indo-Pakistani Wars of 1965 and 1971, were all made possible by this. Humanitarian impact. The conflict caused immense misery, fatalities, and significant displacement of civilian populations in Kashmir and the surrounding areas. Sectarian violence and tensions between Muslims, Hindus, and other religious communities were also made worse by the battle. The First Kashmir War, also known as the Indo-Pakistani War of 1947-1948, is still an ongoing, divisive conflict that continues to influence South Asia's geopolitical environment. There are still tensions, violent outbursts, and a general climate of mistrust between India and Pakistan as a result of the battle over Kashmir. A long-term resolution to the Kashmir problem has eluded multiple attempts at diplomacy, peace negotiations, and measures aimed at fostering confidence. The whole Kashmir territory is claimed by both India and Pakistan, which heightens tensions and makes it more difficult to reach a mutually agreeable solution. In order to address the underlying causes of instability and violence in the region, communication, reconciliation, and cooperation are critically needed. The legacy of the First Kashmir War stands as a sobering reminder of the human cost of conflict. The people of Kashmir continue to suffer from the effects of unresolved territorial disputes and geopolitical rivalries until a comprehensive and equitable solution is found. They yearn for peace and stability in their homeland.